It was the year of 2016. I was actually in the beginning year of my 8th grade class. And in that time, I actually remember being in my first morning class, gym class. We were just getting to know each other and actually trying to pair in groups where we do activities to get to know each other and also just to be acquainted with when we are in this class, just introductions when you're in school. And during that time, bro, I remember I was okay, I was fine until we started doing certain activities in class that really threw me off, that really made me feel the absolute worst. Because, bro, this wasn't your average, we talk to each other and just get to know each other kind of day. This was something that made me feel more insecure than I have ever felt in my life, or one of the times I felt very insecure in my life. We were doing activities where we would have to do competitions with different groups of the class where we learn to work together and work with each other. And in this one activity, one person would be on the other person's back and they would run across and they would switch around and come back the other way of that line. And this is, bro, where I felt so insecure. During that time, I wasn't really in my best shape. I wasn't really the best communicator either, and I would always feel insecure about my appearance, my looks, and everything about myself, especially my size, bro, because during that time, I wasn't really in the best health. I was kind of chubby and I wasn't really looking at myself in a good viewpoint. So when it was my turn to go on the other person's back to run across, I already felt so insecure, bro. I felt like my anxiety was at the highest level ever. I felt like, what is that person going to think of me if I go on top of that person because of how heavy I am and how fat it was? Already just judging myself, critiquing myself, overanalyzing the situation, and just thinking of the absolute worst, thinking that maybe I wouldn't be accepted or they would make fun of me because of how heavy I was. But after crossing that line, nothing happened, bro. And I just sat there with my thoughts, thinking to myself of how crappy I am, of how not good I am because of my weight, because how maybe I may have looked during that time, and just feeling just crappy about myself because I wasn't really good at communication. I wasn't good with talking with girls, and I wasn't really good at being myself in general and just being open without feeling so much self-judgment toward myself, bro. Critique and just overanalyzing my situation. But why is it that I tell this short story about myself? It's because honestly, I feel like most people get so caught up in their mind, overanalyzing, just overthinking the situation, even just having too much anxiety, focusing on pretty much everything outside of themselves when really nothing outside of them really matters. When I was that kid, bro, growing up, I was just so focused on everything, thinking about what others were thinking about me, thinking about what I was thinking about myself, afraid to really just step out my comfort zone, afraid to step into groups, afraid to just be open and be myself, just scared of it all. Literally, you wouldn't even see me, bro, just walk into a group of people or random people, or especially girls when I was in school. I was too afraid to be open. I was too afraid. But here's the thing you could take away from this that I've learned is honestly, bro, it doesn't really matter outside of yourself what others think of you, even about yourself. The things that we might think are important, the things that we think people care about, honestly, probably they don't care about it at all. And the things that you're so worried about, maybe no one is thinking about it. And even if they do say something about it, even if they do laugh about it, it won't even be that long time. They're going to forget about it eventually because everyone's in their own mind, their own world. Nothing really actually has meaning other than what we give the meaning to. And I remember back in 2022, one book that genuinely saved me, something that really helped me see a new point of view, is this book called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson. I do recommend reading it. It's a really good book. And basically, one of the things he mentions is that everything is meaningless. And I know that might sound terrible. It might not sound good on paper, but truly nothing actually has meaning other than the meaning that you give something. The anxieties you have, the fears you might have, the judgment toward yourself and other people are nothing more than the meaning that you're giving that thing. You're giving something power towards it, something to make it feel like it's scary when really it's nothing more than you creating that illusion with your mind. The second thing is learning to let go. Learning to let go of things that we can't control. Learning to let go of things that might not even be important, and just also letting go of the future or even the past. Why I say that is because nothing really exists other than the present moment. And when we are focusing so much on our problems, focusing on other people, whether it's from something from the past or even a future event that hasn't even occurred. We're putting our attention and our energy toward those things when it hasn't even happened yet, or maybe it already occurred and it doesn't matter because that's the past. All we can focus on is the now, the present moment. And if we can learn to let go, when we learn to be with ourselves, be with the present moment, and just accept things how they are, which doesn't mean you can't change anything about it, you can feel more at peace with yourself. And for the third thing, which will tie back to my story, it's just take action. Maybe you're fearing walking into that group of people. Maybe you're fearing taking the next steps by asking that girl out, that boy out. Maybe you're fearing what someone might think about a certain situation or even about you. Creating this narrative, this story about something in your mind, probably anxious about it, probably just thinking too much about it, overanalyzing, critiquing yourself in a situation instead of actually just seeing or just asking. You see, when I was that younger kid, that younger boy, I literally just avoided any group or anybody, really just feeling anxious, sometimes even depressed within myself, thinking of certain situations, narratives, and just too afraid when really I never really tried as much as I wanted to. I was too comfortable being in that safe zone, too comfortable with myself. So today, just try something. So try something today. Take a little action with something. It doesn't have to be massive, where you can feel happy and accomplished with yourself. We don't have to have this burden of feeling too anxious, feeling too sad within yourself, and beating yourself up because of something, when all you really have to do is take a little action and see the rewards you can get out of it, or see the positive side of things by looking at that small action you have taken. So hopefully, if you learned anything from this video, I hope you can take it and use it for whatever you are doing in life, and even just share this with somebody who may be in that certain situation. Good next time. Peace.